Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the weekly market analysis. Let's start it covering the Nasdaq 100 chart. We can see that recently prices bounced off primary trend resistance and reversed downward to this point right now. And at this stage, there's no clear indication to do any kind of action. Let's put an entry point here around 24,633 points. It corresponds to the secondary trend support. And maybe it will be interesting to buy some lots if prices come here, because in parallel we can see stochastic oscillator and the relative strength index moving to the overselling position, right? If it prices break through the support and go down to 23,060 points, we have another important support here, combining both the secondary trend support and the 200 days moving average right here. If prices go upward, so we have this resistance here, which is strong, and if it breaks through, we have this important take profits point as well, around 26,256, corresponding to the Fibonacci retracement resistance. Okay, I lied you some sacks so you guys can take your shots before I move forward to the analysis of the euro. When it comes to the euro dollar, we can see prices testing this primary trend resistance here around $1.17. At the same time, we have both relative strength index and stochastic oscillator in the overbuying region. So probabilities that prices will decrease from this point right now increases substantially. So I would say, if you guys have some euros, it's time to sell it and buy some dollars, okay? And let's say that prices break through and go upward until $1.21. We have another take profits position here, corresponding to both Fibonacci retracement and secondary trend resistance as well. Okay, if prices reverses downward to $1.14, we have an important support here, corresponding to both the secondary trend support and the 200 days moving average here. Okay, and if it break through, you will have another important support here, combining primary trend support, secondary trend support, Fibonacci retracement support around $1.12. Okay, so it will be clearly an entry point, so you guys can take some lots here, right? Well, I let you some sacks so you can take your screenshots as I move forward to the analysis of Bitcoin. So we can see for the Bitcoin that prices are testing the support here, but I will not say that it's time to purchase some loads, because there's no other indications that it will go upward. Usually I like to collect at least two indications that prices will be up or downward, okay? But if it breaks through this position here, we'll have an important support around $84,000, corresponding to the minus 20% 200 days moving average. You have the 200 days moving average here and the minus 20% 200 days moving average here. And if it breaks through, we have an important support here around $78,000, corresponding to the Fibonacci retracement support, right? If prices reverses upward to this point, we have an important resistance corresponding to the Fibonacci retracement around $97,000, and if it breaks through, we have the 200 days moving average resistance around $104,000. So I let you guys some secs so you can take your shots as I save it and move forward to the analysis of the SSA composite corresponding to the Chinese stock market analysis. So when it comes to the SSA composite, we can see that prices bounced off resistance and reversed downward to this point, but there's no clear indication that it is an entry point. If prices continues to decrease, we have an important point here, an important support related to both Fibonacci retracement support around the 3,865 points, combined with this secondary trend support as well, right? If prices arrives here and breakthrough, we have another entry point corresponding to the 200 days moving average support and the secondary trend, the support here around the 3,627 points, right? If prices go upward and break through this primary trend resistance, we have an interesting resistance here that I would say it will be your take profits point around 4,338 points, okay, corresponding to both secondary trend resistance and the up to 20% 200 days moving average, right? So do not hesitate to take your shots as I move forward to the analysis of the yen. So for the yen, mid-November, we have prices that bounced off resistance and reversed downward to $155. So we will have $157 as our take profits position and $179 as well as a take profits position corresponding to the top of the moving 200 days moving average here. And if prices continues to decrease, we have an interesting entry point here around $149 corresponding to the 200 days moving average support. And if it breaks through, we will have another important support here, combining both the Fibonacci retracement support and the secondary trend support as well. Okay, guys. So I let you some secs so you can take your shots as I save it and move forward to the analysis of the Brent crude contracts. So let's see what is happening right now with these assets. Okay. So last week prices broken through this support in such a way it flips to resistance right now. So let's change its color and it was the Fibonacci retracement resistance, and a strong one. Wow, huge movement. Yes. So right now, prices are approaching this region corresponding to the $66. And as in parallel, we have both the relative strength index and the stochastic oscillator indicating the overselling. I would say that it is an interesting moment to buy some Brent crude contracts here. Okay, that probabilities that prices will be increasing, substantial increase at this point, and for sure we have another resistance around this point, but no, I'm not sure. So the next take profits position would be here around the $67, corresponding to the 200 days moving average. And if it prices breakthrough, we have this primary trend resistance here around $73 a barrel. If prices break this important resistance here, I would say that the next entry point would be here around $54, okay, corresponding to this down 20% 200 days moving average. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, I'll let you some seconds so you can take your shots and then move forward to the analysis of the pound sterling chart. Yeah, so prices are very clearly testing this strong resistance here around $1.33, corresponding to both the primary and secondary trend resistance. We have this 200 days moving average resistance as well, and in parallel we have both RSI and stochastic oscillator indicating some kind of overbuying here. So it's still a good time to take profits here and to sell some pounds sterling. Okay, if prices continues to increase, we have another take profits position around $1.40, corresponding to both primary and secondary trend resistance here. And if it bounces off and the reverse downward to $1.26, we'll have the entry point around this position. And if it break through, we have the another purchasing point here around $1.19. Okay, guys, let me save it, and let's talk about the European stock market. So prices are testing this important resistance here around 5,776 point, and we have another important resistance as well. This is the secondary trend resistance. So I would say it's a good moment to take profits in the European market as well, because probabilities that prices will be decreasing here increases substantially when we have this kind of a picture. And our take profits point will be around 5,000. No, I'm sorry. The purchasing point will be around 5,600 euros, $600. I am sorry again, corresponding to the primary trend support. So let me apply it. And we have another important support here around 5,400 points, corresponding to both the 200 days moving average support and the secondary trend support. Okay, so I let you some seconds to take your shots. If you guys have any question, do not hesitate to contact me. It'll be a pleasure to help you. Okay, let's talk about the Cooper, the last assets that I will be analyzing today. So we can see that very recently prices broken through important resistance, which flipped it both to support right now. So let me change its color, right? So I usually qualify it as blue. Okay, support is blue, resistance is red for me. And right now prices are testing the support, but there's no indication of overselling, so you guys don't do anything. Okay, but if it breaks through again, we'll have an important entry point here around $4.76, and if it breakthrough, we have another important support around $4.71, and if prices reverse upward to this point here around $4.72, have my boy here that would like to do the analysis with us as well. Calm down, my boy. I'm finishing that. So okay. So if we have the prices here around $5.72, we have a strong resistance combining both primary and secondary trend and the up to 200 days moving average resistance as well. So ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, my boys are going nuts and I need to see what is happening. So I wish you everybody a very nice weekend and thank you very much. See you.